Hello, cryptids and creepy creature-loving freaks. Did you like that? I thought it was kind of funny. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcasting journey. I couldn't do it without you. Welcome to another bone-chilling episode of our podcast where we delve into the darkest corners of the unknown. To start with, I'll bring you a tale that has haunted the quiet town of Dover, Massachusetts for decades. The legend of the Dover Demon. I'm Amanda Winter, and welcome to All Things Cryptid. Let's jump in. Just 20 miles southwest of Boston lies a picturesque town named Dover. But hidden among the hardwood forest and curvy back roads lurks the Dover Demon. It's an unpleasant little creature, to say the least, with a watermelon-shaped head and the body of an emaciated monkey. Within but a few hours, 4 teenagers in Dover claim to have witnessed the horrifying creature, and all their accounts describe the same thing. Large, glowing eyes on an otherwise blank face. But was the Dover Demon real? Over a span of 2 nights in 1977, several teenagers reported to have seen a similar creature, and there has still been no explanation for these sightings. William Bartlett, then 17 years old, was the first person to see the Dover Demon. As he and 2 friends, Mike Mazzocco, and I'm sorry if I accidentally butchered your last name, please forgive me, and Andy Brody drove along their local farm street just past 10 p.m. Bartlett witnessed a creature standing on the wall, its eyes glowing in the headlights. It was not a dog or a cat. It had no tail. It had an egg-shaped head. The Dover Demon, as the creature soon became known, appeared more human than animal. Bartlett said that it reminded him of children with distended stomachs, but the head had no mouth, ears, or nose. So Bartlett described the Dover Demon as a small humanoid creature with hairless, peach-colored skin, a large watermelon-shaped head with glowing orange eyes. The creature had long, thin arms and legs, and Bartlett noted that its appearance was unlike anything he had ever seen before. He also described the Dover Demon as moving in a peculiar, almost mechanical manner, and he estimated its height to be around 3 to 4 feet tall. 2 hours after Bartlett witnessed the creature, 15-year-old John Baxter walked his girlfriend home near a heavily wooded area. He said he got within 15 feet of the creature that looked remarkably like the one Bartlett saw. Baxter made a black and white drawing of the Dover Demon. He stated this creature had large eyes and tendril-like hands. He saw this thing standing next to a tree. I will include that picture, if I can, on my social media so you guys can see it. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it would freak me the hell out, no joke. The next night, on April 22nd, around midnight, a 15-year-old girl named Abby Brabham, and again, butchering last names, that's what I do, saw the Dover Demon. It was standing upright next to a tree, she said, much like the sighting the night before. The locations of the sightings, when plotted, lay a straight line over 2 miles. All the sightings were made near water. Bartlett remained shaken and haunted by the sighting even years later. In a lot of ways, it's kind of embarrassing to me. I definitely saw something. It was definitely weird. I didn't make it up. Sometimes I wish I had. Independently, all 3 witnesses of the Dover Demon had the same or eerily similar story. In all accounts, there was something that was kind of human but not quite animal about the creature. It seemed undeniable that something uncanny had come to Dover. Some chalk up the strange encounters to inebriation, while Bartlett says he and his friends were looking for beer that night, they never did indulge. Alternatively, the creature could have been a foal or baby moose mistaken for something more sinister, though April wasn't foal season and moose were long gone from Dover at the time of the sighting. Additionally, foals and moose don't stand on hind legs, nor do they sit on top of walls. Bartlett also denies that this creature could be an animal of any kind. This definitely wasn't a fox or animal. It was some kind of creature with long, thin fingers. The thing was more human-like in its form than animal. I've always tried to guess what it was. I never had any idea. I wasn't trying to be funny. People who know me know I didn't make this up. Loren Coleman, a noted cryptozoologist from Maine, thinks all three sightings were credible. He spoke to the teens within a week of the reported sightings. We have a credible case, over 25 hours by individuals who saw something. Coleman believes that the Dover demon doesn't match any explicable sightings reported before, such as those of the chupacabras, Sasquatch, Roswell aliens, or the bat-eared goblins from Hopkinsville, Kentucky in 1955. Stranger still, weird sightings like this isn't out of the ordinary in Dover. This area of Massachusetts has had its fair share of weirdness throughout the centuries. Coleman noted that the area in which the Dover demon was sighted already had a history of unexplained activity. In that same area, you had three major legends going on, including a sighting of the devil on horseback in the 1600s, stories of buried treasure, and then the Dover demon. I think it certainly says something, Coleman continued. It's almost as if there are certain areas that collect sightings, almost in a magnetic way. Dover could be such a place. Then, in 1972, just 5 years before the Dover demon sightings, Mark Sennett, again butchering last names, forgive, swore he saw a creature in the woods. Something with glowing eyes had turned up in his car headlights too. We saw a small figure deep in the woods moving at the edge of the pond. We could see it moving in the headlights. We didn't know. But whatever the reality behind this barrage of odd occurrences, the Dover demon has since sparked a cultural phenomenon. There are video games and figurines of the alien-like creature from as far away as Japan. While researching the Dover demon, I couldn't help but notice some similarities between the Dover demon and the Mannegishi. The Mannegishi is a mythical creature that originates from the folklore of the Cree people who are indigenous to regions of Canada and the United States. The Cree have a rich oral tradition filled with stories of various mythical beings, including the Mannegishi. So, the Mannegishi is described as a small humanoid creature with a strange and distinctive appearance, said to live near water. So again, we're hearing about water and little mythological creature. It is said to be quite small in its size, often only a few feet tall, with elongated limbs, disproportionately long arms and legs, with 6 fingers on each hand, giving it a somewhat peculiar and otherworldly experience. The Mannegishi is known for its large, expressive eyes that are said to be capable of captivating those who gaze into them. The Mannegishi is considered a trickster figure in Cree mythology, known for its mischievous behavior and playful nature. It is said to enjoy playing pranks on unsuspecting individuals and causing mischief in various ways. Despite its mischievous nature, the Mannegishi is also believed to be a guardian of knowledge and wisdom in Cree folklore. It is said to possess secret knowledge of the natural world and spiritual realm, which it may share with those who approach it with respect and humility. In some stories, the Mannegishi is depicted as a teacher and guide to those who seek understanding of the mysteries of the universe. It is said to impart valuable lessons about the interconnectedness of all living beings and the importance of balance in the world. The The Mannegishi is often seen as a symbol of adaptability and resilience in Cree culture. Its ability to navigate different realms and outwit its adversaries reflect the Cree belief that importance of flexibility and resourcefulness in the face of challenges. The Mannegishi also holds cultural significance for the Cree people as a symbol of creativity, curiosity, and unseen forces that shape the world. Its presence in Cree mythology serves to explain natural phenomena, and it teaches moral lessons and connect individuals to their ancestral heritage. In modern times, the Mannegishi from Cree folklore has made its way into various forms of art and literature and popular culture. The Mannegishi has been featured in contemporary literature, including novels, short stories, and poetry. Writers often draw inspiration from Cree mythology to create new stories or incorporate the Mannegishi as a character in their works. For instance, the Mannegishi is the main character of a children's book written by Troy Townsend. In this story, the Mannegishi loves to hide, and he startles others by singing, "Na na 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 nee nee, you can't see me." Each fun-filled story also contains short, repetitive singing parts that children can join in on, as well as a look and find that becomes part of the action. Each book contains a historical account of each monster. So that's one example. Art and illustration. Artists and illustrators have depicted the Mannegishi in various visual mediums, showcasing its unique appearance and mischievous nature. Artwork featuring the Mannegishi can be found in galleries, online platforms, and publications. The Mannegishi has also made appearances in films, TV shows, and animated series that explore themes of mythology and folklore. Its character may be portrayed in different ways, with a whimsical trickster to a mysterious guardian of knowledge. Video games. Some video games incorporate mythical creatures like the Mannegishi into their storylines and gameplay. Players may encounter the Mannegishi as a NPC, or, for those of you that do not know what an NPC is, that's a non-playable character, or encounter references to it within the game world. The popularity of mythical creatures in pop culture has led to the creation of merchandise and collectibles featuring the Mannegishi. These items may include toys, figurines, clothing, and accessories that showcase the creature's unique design. Online media and social platforms. The Mannegishi may also be referenced or discussed on online platforms, social media, and websites dedicated to folklore, mythology, and the indigenous culture. These platforms serve as a space for sharing information and engaging with others' interest in the Mannegishi and Cree mythology. I mean, I'm doing a whole podcast about the Dover Demon and the Mannegishi, and I'm going to have pictures or artist descriptions on my Facebook page. Overall, modern interpretations and pulp culture references to the Mannegishi help to introduce this mythological creature to a wider audience and keep its stories alive in contemporary context. By incorporating elements of Cree folklore into various forms of media and entertainment, the Mannegishi continues to captivate and inspire audiences interested in mythical creatures and indigenous traditions. So, tying in the Mannegishi and the Dover Demon together for my podcast, there are some cryptozoologists that believe that maybe the Dover Demon is a cousin to the Mannegishi, or even maybe the same thing. You know, like when we talk about Sasquatch, for instance, or Bigfoot, or the skunk ape if you're in Florida. I mean, technically they're all the same thing, but, you know, just a little bit different depending on region. So some people believe that the Dover Demon and the Mannegishi are the same, but most like to keep them separate. So, you know, while the Dover Demon and the Mannegishi share some similarity in terms of their small humanoid appearances, glowing eyes, and mysterious behaviors, they actually belong to different cultural backgrounds and mythological systems. So, on a side note, I feel like I should start referring to myself as a mythological systems analyst, not analyst. That's a whole different thing. And I'm not even about to go there. So, I couldn't talk about the Mannegishi without also mentioning the Memegwesi. The Memegwesi is a mythical creature from the folklore of some indigenous peoples of North America, particularly among the Ojibwe tribe. But it's involved with a lot of tribes. While specific details may vary from one storyteller to another, there are some common characteristics associated with the Memegwesi. First of all, it's typically depicted as small, often only a few feet tall. They are said to have humanoid shape with a wrinkled or weathered appearance. Some descriptions mention that they have long, shaggy hair. When it comes to the facial features, they're depicted as having exaggerated facial features such as large eyes, noses, or mouths. They are believed to possess magical powers and are associated with controlling water and other aspects of the natural world. The Memegwesi are said to inhabit rocks or caves near bodies of waters like rivers and lakes and waterfalls. They are said to be guardians of the waterways and possess the ability to control water levels, fish populations, and other aspects of the natural world. The Memegwesi are often portrayed as tricksters and can be mischievous towards humans who do not show them proper respect or care for the environment. Despite their mischievous nature, they are also seen as important spiritual beings with a role in maintaining balance in the natural world. Although both creatures are small humanoid beings with similar mischievous tendencies, there is no direct connection between the two in traditional folklore. Each creature has its own stories, attributes, and cultural significance within the respective indigenous communities where they originate. I find that it's also important to note that indigenous folklore is diverse and varies among different tribes and cultural groups, so it's always best to approach these stories with respect and appreciation for the specific cultural context in which they exist. So they may be a cousin of the Mannegishi, they may be the same thing, just different tribes, I don't know, but when it comes to my podcast, I try to be as respectful as possible. Okay, I cannot talk about the other two without bringing up one of my favorites, the Pukwudgie. All right, let's talk about the Pukwudgie just for a few minutes. Eventually, I'm going to do a whole podcast on little people, and I will be talking about the Pukwudgie more, but a Pukwudgie is a mythical creature from the folklore of some Native American tribes, particularly the Wampanoag people of the northeastern United States. Pukwudgies are said to be small humanoid beings with characteristics of both mischievous and potentially dangerous. So, here are some common attributes of the characteristics associated with Pukwudgies. Pukwudgies are typically described as small, standing only a few feet tall. They are said to have humanoid shape with gray, leathery skin and large ears. Pukwudgies are believed to possess magical abilities such as the power to create fire or transform into animals. They are often portrayed as tricksters who enjoy playing pranks on humans. However, they are also known to be vengeful and can cause harm to those who offend them. So seriously, Nobody piss off a Pukwudgie. Is that on a shirt? Please don't piss off the Pukwudgies. Oh my God, I gotta get that on a shirt. How hilarious would that be? Please don't piss off the Pukwudgies. All right, sorry. Pukwudgies are said to live in the forests and swamps of the northeastern United States, particularly in areas with rocky terrain. Pukwudgies have been part of Native American folklore for centuries, and stories about these creatures vary among different tribes and regions. They are considered important figures in the mythology and oral traditions of the Wampanoag people and have become a part of a broader folklore of the northeastern United States. So when I was delving deeper in my research of the Dover Demon and other little people that are similar, of course I did the other two and the Pukwudgie, but I was looking and there are so many from different tribes. Eventually I would like to do a little people's episode where I go deeper into the different tribes, and also I would like to talk about fairies eventually, because you can't talk about folklore and mythological creatures of different tribes and not also talk about the fairies. And you don't want to piss off the fairies. I think you already know that, but we'll go deeper into that later. So some of my final thoughts are, when it comes to the Dover Demon, I'm not sure if it was the same thing as either of these tribes spoke about, or if it was an alien type creature. I mean, when you look at depictions of aliens from other sources, it's very similar, especially with the large eyes and the no nose hardly and no mouth. It's weird. I do think that they probably saw something, though, for all these, people to see the same thing at different times without speaking to each other. It's pretty cool. So I don't know. But I know that when it comes to little people and tales of little people, there are stories from all over the place. I think Welsh has one. I'm not sure the correct name of it, but I think that one day I would like to do a whole podcast on little people. I have some personal stories that I would like to share, not from me, but from, family and passed down from family. And I think it's so important to write down these weird stories that your family has, to keep them, whether they're true or whatever. I think they're part of your history, and I think it's important to keep them. I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing about the Dover Demon and the Mannegishi, the Memegwesi, and the Pukwudgie as much as I have enjoyed learning and talking about them. Forgive me for my mispronunciations. I tried to look up how to say the correct words, but sometimes that's even wrong. I noticed that occasionally while doing research for my podcast, I've come across some interesting material that I want to cover, but doesn't seem quite long enough for my whole 25 to 30 minute episode. So I decided every once in a while I would start doing shorter, fun-filled episodes, or what I'll be calling a cryptid quickie, where we could talk about those cryptids or hauntings that are a little bit shorter in nature. So as I finish this episode up, as always, I want to thank you for listening. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. Please like and follow this podcast, share it with your friends. If you feel frisky, give me a 5-star rating, so the more of those I get, the more people that will be able to listen. Don't forget that I have an All Things Cryptid Podcast Facebook page that you can follow. And also, please email me your very own stories to allthingscryptid13@gmail.com. Eventually, I would love to take all your stories and make them into a really neat episode. I really want to hear what you have to say. So until my very next episode, stay cryptid curious, my friends.
Bye.